I'm Chris Tattersall. I'm the Managing Director of Smart Business Advisory and Consulting in the UK. I spent the first 25 years of my career as a banker, mostly in international banking. For the last 10 years I've been a consultant, so I made the conversion from banker to consultant. For 3 years I was with a company called Capco, and then with Bearing Point, where I ended up as Head of Financial Services, and now I'm with Smart, where I've been for the last 3.5 years. This is particularly relevant for me, Innovate CV, at the moment, because I'm helping my son finalise his decisions about his career and therefore his CV, his interviewing skills and those kinds of things. And of course, what he's going to be when he finally grows up. If they arrive having already thought beforehand, okay, so this is an organisation which is a management consultancy, so what is it that they will be looking for? And frankly, even if they have come to some incorrect conclusions, it would impress me more that they had thought about it beforehand and been prepared than if they came with no impression or no opinion at all. Don't try to be something you're not. So don't invent a persona that you think is going to be appropriate for the role, because it will be uncovered. Be yourself, let your personality come through, because for me, the personality of the person that I'm hiring is the most important thing. When we're looking at CVs, we tend to be looking at skills, at experience, of evidence of what someone's done. Because we do not expect to get from a CV the more important things, such as personality, interpersonal skills, those kinds of things, because that's what we're looking for at interview. The idea of having people happily doing the things that you need them to do and persuading them that that's what's needed to be done, that's what a good manager is. You need to be someone who's incredibly people-oriented, understand how to get under the skin of people, understand what motivates them, and take a different approach to the different people, not the same to everyone. I think an employee needs to spend time investing in training simply because the more you learn, the more you're advanced, the better you are. And so as an employee, you're more valuable to your employer. The kind of training that's available online now is so sophisticated that those people who tend to sort of turn up their nose at it, to be honest now, need to revise their opinions, because there's some incredibly effective online training. And that can be done at your desk in your own time. You can break it and do it in slots of an hour easily. Secondly, there's what I would describe as on-the-job training. So that's working with someone who knows the job you're doing or trying to learn. And then thirdly, the classroom training off the job, as it were, outside the office and so on. And it is nearly always the most effective type of training. So when you do it, it's highly effective, but it is of course also extremely expensive. So you have to be very clear about the kinds of things you want to learn. Understand a few things about consulting. Firstly, it's higher pressure typically than industry. Secondly, of course, it's the thing that everybody thinks of, the travel. Typically, consultants tend to travel more. They tend to be on client site. They tend to be long hours on client site. So it's something you've got to take into account. The third thing I think is perhaps the most important thing, and that is to be prepared for the difference between doing a 9-to-5 job, let's call it a 9-to-5 job, but doing a job where you can come in, you can do your stuff and you can go home, as opposed to being that expensive consultant who we're paying to do a project. In the majority of cases, most people who've looked back on being made redundant have said it was a good thing. It ended up me having to make some choices, and I made some good choices, and I'm now better off than I was before. The most important thing is you know lots of people. You do know them, so get in touch with them, start using your network. Everybody you know can help in some way, and don't be frightened to ask. The worst thing that can possibly happen to you is 6 months after you get made redundant, somebody said to you, "Why didn't you call me?"